Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the New England Sports Center for Hopkinton Hillers boys varsity hockey. As today they take on Medfield in a TVL large matchup. Tom Nappy on the call, Andy Ritz on camera, and it's the second game of the season for the Hopkinton Hillers, who are looking to respond off an opening loss to Norwell this past Monday. They lost that game 6-1, but hoping for better success here tonight. But they will certainly have a tall task as they take on what is a great Medfield program. Both teams did lose a substantial amount of players from last season, so both teams have younger rosters than typically, but still some good returning players for both sides. This is the first game of the season for the Medfield Warriors, so this is their season opener here tonight. The Hopkinton Hillers, led by first-year head coach Scott Hayes. And Medfield, they don't have their coach listed, but they certainly have an impressive coaching staff. And out there in net for the Hillers, you have Jack Lang, the junior. For the Medfield Warriors, it's Andrew Ladd, who is a junior. Your starters for the Hillers include Parker Wynn, Joe Carazza, Wyatt Ian Tosca, Declan DeRocher, and Drew Morse, as we are set to get underway here at the New England Sports Center. You can hear the players banging on the sideboards, and we are off here in period number one between the Hillers and Medfield. Pass over to the far side, and there's a stop to start things off by Lang off the shot from James Tyre, Jr. And we'll have a face-off just a few seconds into the action. Starters for the Medfield Warriors include James Tyre, Kevin Arthur, Liam Ladd, Patrick Donovan, and Ryan Dolan. The starters for the Warriors as Donovan feeds it back. Pass over to the near side, misses his intended target. Ladd, up to the end boards it goes. Parker Wynn catches up with it and swooshes it around to Ian Tosca. Now into the neutral zone, sending it into Hillers territory, Donovan. And tripped up Hiller there as Parker Wynn lost his footing. Or his blading, I should say. Working up the far side now, pass over to DeRocher. He gets it into Medfield territory as the Hillers make a change. Now with it for Medfield, Zach Palmer. He sends it forward. And Oli Barris sends it over to the far side, and now Ryan Dolan racing to the puck. Dolan scoots it around over to Donovan. Now getting in there for the Hillers title. Sends it back to the blue line. Barris sends it up and around. Back and forth we go here in the early minutes of this one. Sent over by Berman. He'll find Purpura. And Purpura takes a long-distance shot. That's deflected by Ladd. Up behind the end boards, Donovan. Sends it to his right to knee, and now back to Donovan. Pass up the near side now. There's a wrister, and getting in the way was Purpura. And another shot that'll be wrapped up by Ladd. And the initial shot, that was Oli Barris, and he's going for the wrister there. Purpura just in the wrong place at the wrong time, but good pressure by the Hillers. This faceoff comes with 13:09 left to go in the first period. Joe Scardino up against Sanderson on the faceoff. At the blue line, there's a shot by White, and it's turned away. Up the near side goes Sanderson. Sanderson racing around, cutting him off Danny White. Hillers would certainly like to get a win here tonight with the new state playoff system, as there's a shot, it's deflected. Lang lost the puck, And somehow it went off the back of his leg, and he's able to land on it. Heavy pressure by Medfield as racing in on the secondary shot was Donovan. And we'll have a face-off between Scardino and Sanderson. For Medfield being a D2 team, it's major point credit if you get a win against a team in a division that is above yours. Hillers in D3. Along the far side. Slicing at it, Zolotarev, and that shot just wide. Well, that shot was Sherman. Jammed up now along the end boards, and it pops out. Good battle now out in front, and Zolotarev gets it out of the danger zone. White takes it around. Pass up over to Zolotarev. And a fling from the neutral zone to the net from Tyre. Bianchi trying to race up the ice with it. Bianchi got tied up with Tyre. Over to the near side it goes. Arthur has it. Sends it over. Racing in, Tyre. And that is going to be wrapped up. Tyre met up with Drew Morse. We'll have a face-off at 11:40 left to go in the first period. Off the face-off, there's a shot by Tyre, and it's wrapped up by Lang. Well, both teams providing some good pressure here in the early minutes. Racing in into the slot, backhander turned away by Lang off the stick of Tyre. And Tyre will certainly be a player to look out for Medfield. Racing up the ice now, Karatza. Speaking of players to look out for, Karatza rips a shot, Ladd turns it away. Into the neutral zone. Backhanded pass by Morse. Over to the near side it goes. Tyre with it, flings it off the glass. And now Morse sends it up. Rolls to the net, Ladd turns it over towards Pelkey. Back to Pelkey goes knee. Now Karatza gets in there. Along the corner, that is Ian Tosca. Sends it out. Karatza looking for a shot. It's turned away. Lusby got in front of it. Hillers in the midst of another change as Lusby sends it around, and we will have an icing call. 10:43 left to go here in the first period. An 8 o'clock start to this one tonight. St. John's was in action. This is also their home arena. Peterson trying to race up. He's cut off by Donovan. And now with it is Berman. Rister, and it's wrapped up by Ladd off the Purpura shot. This faceoff comes at 10:28 left. Off the faceoff, Rister. And into traffic goes Barris, taking it around the net now, Donovan. Pops it off the glass. And we're going to have it offsides. Medfield changing things up on the ice. Dolan sends it over to D. And now racing up the ice is Sear. Sire sends it over to the corner. And it's turned up ice by Brennan. Make that Berman, rather. Into Medfield territory it goes. Hillers make another change. Dolan up the far side. Caught up with by Morse. Morse flings it over looking for Zolotarev. Getting in the way, Dolan racing in. Backhander turned away. poked out by Lang. Into the corner it goes. Scardino has it. Scardino flips it over to Wynn. Wynn up the near side over to Greenwood. Now with it is Morse. Morse sends it around. Into the corner it goes. Greenwood gets there, matched up with Dolan. Coming out with it was Sanderson, and he got tied up with Zolotarov. Jammed up along the far side now. Over to the net it goes, and a fling of a shot there, wrapped up by the junior Andrew Ladd. Hillers getting the first line back out on the ice. Medfield as well. Sent up the far side, a shot by Morse. Around to the near side it goes. Dolan trying to grab it out of the corner, gets tied up. A battle for it. Who will come away with it? We shall see, and it'll be the Hillers. There's a shot, and that is deflected away. That was off the stick of Parker Wynn. Good feed from Ian Tosca. Now Tyre looking for Ladd. Off of Ladd it goes into the corner. Ladd catches up with it behind the net. Sends it out. And it's stolen away. Good steal by Karatza. Karatza on a break. Here he goes. Takes the shot off the post. That was a great steal by Karatza, and he is dangerous on the breakaway, and just a little wide on that shot attempt. Here comes Tyre. And there's a shot turned away off the stick of Kevin Arthur. Secondary shot. Good goaltending by Lang so far. Up towards the corner goes Sherman. Into the corner, big hit delivered by Horgan on Marmai. And are we going to have a penalty here? We will. It'll be against Medfield. James Tyre in the box. So the Hillers on the power play for the next 2 minutes. He gets the penalty for the cross check. Karatza on the faceoff. Now Scardino. Sends it behind the net. Now sent back out by Ian Tosca. Out in front, Ian Tosca with a shot turned away. Back around the net it goes, Scardino. Out to Ian Tosca. Sends it out, Karatza. And there's a shot by Scardino. Up behind the net it goes, Morse with it now. Looking for Scardino along the corner. It's a battle for it, sent out over to Wynn. Wynn pops it over to the far side towards Ian Tosca. And it's turned up ice by a defender. Caught up with by Wynn. And now Scardino gets in there. Scardino trying to take it around the net. He's cut off. Connor Nee steals it away. Back to the blue line now. Morse. There's a shot from the high slot. And a little wide. And now trying to race in is Karatza. Squirts up the far side into Hillers territory. 6:24 and counting left to go here in the first period. Some good action in this TVL matchup. Title sends it over. Finds DeRocher. DeRocher pops it around. Now trying to come out with it is Greenwood. Tied up behind the net, Greenwood. Leaves it out for DeRocher, and now back to DeRocher it goes. It's from J.J. Bianchi. Along the corner is Gwendon. Getting in there for the Hillers title. Sent over towards the slot. It's turned up ice. Now racing in was Title. That goes wide. Caught up with by Bianchi. Dolan was trying to turn it up ice. Bianchi got in the way. Donovan now. Sends it over to Dolan. Dolan with the backhander into Hiller's territory. That's going to be smartly wrapped up by Jack Lang. This faceoff comes at 5:10 left to go in the first period. Scardino on the faceoff for the Hillers. And now racing up the near side, Peterson. He's cut off. Sherman got in front of him. There's a backhander, deflected away. And getting in the way, Sherman. Here comes Sherman. Wrister off a defender there as Berman got in the way. Around to the far side it goes now. Medfield in the midst of a change. Trying to come out with it is Tyre. He gets jammed up with Berman. Now sent back over to Lusby. Lusby with a shot. Turned away by Lang. Ladd gets in there. Along the near side it goes into the neutral zone. Lusby sends it up over to Tyre. Around it goes. Parker Wynn gets there for the Hillers. Taken away, looking for the shot. Turned away by Lang. Secondary shot is turned away. Richard Bradbury had a wide open look, but Lang was ready for it. And Kevin Arthur on the secondary shot. Now Medfield with another Arthur shot, and we have some physical play going on between these two TVL rivals. As expected. It is always a physical affair when these two teams meet up. And who are we going to have going to the penalty box is the question. It looks like it's going to be Joe Carazza heading into the box for the Hillers. Well, Medfield has successfully killed off a power play so far. We'll see if the Hillers can. Declan DeRocher up against Kevin Arthur. That shot is wide. Caught up with by Wynn. Sends it up. Into Medfield territory it goes. Donovan. Going to take it up for Medfield. Over to Dolan. Dolan putting the moves on. Dolan with some back and forth with Ian Tosca. Ian Tosca slices it up the near side. Into the neutral zone it goes. DeRocher trying to get there. DeRocher takes it around the net, sends it out, and it's intercepted by Arthur. He was looking for Title. Title had a good look. Arthur sends it over to the near side to Dolan. Dolan races it around. 1 minute left on the Medfield power play. Ladd with it. Backhander over to Arthur. Leaves it for Ladd. Now out to Arthur looking for the shot. Good defensive work there by Title. There's a shot, and that's deflected. Hit delivered by DeRocher. Backhanded pass, Wrister, and it's punched away by Lang off the stick of Max Sherman. There's a shot and a glove save by Lang. That one from John Sanderson. Well, good pressure by the Warriors. Still 19 seconds left on the power play as they look to capitalize. This faceoff comes at 2:06 left in the period. And looks like we may have a penalty here. No, just need a new puck. Look, we had an offsides. Face-off in the neutral zone. Scardino up against Sanderson. Ooh, official. It was right in the way there. That's all right. They played around him. Greenwood trying to race up the ice. Paraki gets in the way. Jammed up along the corner now. Greenwood surrounded by Warriors. Squirts out now over to the blue line. There's a shot turned away off the stick of Barris. Setting it up the far side and around is Berman. Handled by Palmer. Now intercepted. There's a backhander up ice by Greenwood. Racing forward, Sherman. Rister, and Lang will drop it. Another glove save there. Jack Lang's been very busy in this first period, but holding up well so far. Coming out with it is Berman. Sends it over to Zolotarev. Zolotarev able to get it into Medfield territory before he's knocked down. Paraki behind the net. Sends it up the far side. Here comes Connor Nee. Nee racing in. Rister pops it off the glass. Along the near side. Sent up by Pelkey. And sliced back up the near side by Morse. Pelkey jammed up. Getting in there for the Hillers was Wynn. Wynn with it. 30 seconds left in the period. The Hillers have successfully killed off the power play, so both teams even in that department. Sent up by DeRocher. Pelkey with the pass over to Lusby. And he'll take a long shot. It'll be wrapped up by Lang. We'll have a face-off at 9 seconds left in the period. Ooh. Medfield trying to make a change. Yeah, too many players on the ice right now. Yeah, there they go. Karatza up against Arthur. Up and around it goes. Jammed up behind the net. 1 second left. That'll do it for the first period. An action-packed TVL large matchup so far between the Hopkinton Hillers and the Medfield Warriors. And after one period of play, we are scoreless. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers Boys Varsity Hockey on HCAM. And welcome back to the New England Sports Center, as we are just about ready for the second period in this TVL large matchup between the 0-1 Hopkinton Hillers and the 0-0 Medfield Warriors. A scoreless game as we enter the second frame. It was a very entertaining first period, a lot of good back and forth action. The Hillers going to be working right to left across your screen for this second period. And some good pressure provided by both teams as well. Joe Karatza in the face-off circle. Up against Arthur, and it squirts out into Medfield territory. Along the near side goes Dolan. Dolan with a shot. Glove saved by Lang. Some good velocity on that one from the junior. And we'll have a face-off 8 seconds into the period. Over to the end boards it goes. Sends up the near side. Here comes Karatza. Karatza. His shot will be deflected. Karatza sends it out. He was looking for a win in the slot. He got tied up. And we get a whistle. And we're going to have a penalty here. It looks like Kevin Arthur raised the stick a little too high. So he will head to the box, and the Hillers will be on a 2-minute power play. Pretty good turnout here for tonight's game. A nice student section on hand. Connor Nee sends it up the ice. Around it goes. Lang leaves it behind. And Tosca sends it forward and turned back around by Connor Nee. Over to the corner goes Morse. Sends it over. Karatza racing in, and he lost it. Ian Tosca along the far side pops it off the boards. Karatza trying to dig it out off the Scardino pass. Ian Tosca sends it over to Wynn. Wynn wraps it around. Karatza sends it out, and a misfire there by Ian Tosca. Pretty good setup. And now here's a shot, and that is going to go off the glove from Scardino, off the glove of Ladd. Great pressure by the Hillers, and Ladd is going to land on this puck as Title was trying to close in. I'm sorry, make that Morse trying to close in. 1 minute, 2 seconds left on the Hillers power play. Title sends it back. And a misfire there by Greenwood, sent up by Medfield. Lang will keep it in play. Yeah, that's sent sky high out of play off of the stick of Gwendon. We'll have a face-off in the neutral zone with 13:10 left in the period. 43 seconds left on the Hillers power play. Title trying to dig it out. Now here comes Berman. Hillers racing in. Title leaves it behind for Greenwood. Now to the near side of DeRocher. Back to the blue line. That shot deflected. That was from Bianchi. J.J. Bianchi takes the shot, turned away, and it's sliced up towards the blue line by Nee. Along the near side. Got away from DeRocher. Gwendon races there. DeRocher now with it. Sends it back over to the blue line. Berman with a shot. And Ladd got the stick on that one. And a glove save off the Bianchi shot. Well, the power play has expired. Good pressure by the Hillers in that sequence. We're going to face off at 12:20 left to go in the period. Don't forget, there's a new overtime rule this season. If the game is tied after 3 periods of play, they will play a 5-minute overtime. And it will be a sudden death overtime. And if it's still tied after that overtime, it'll end in a tie. With it is Ian Tosca. Sends it up. And shooting into traffic there was Wynn. Back to Hillers territory it goes. We'll have an icing. So we'll get a face-off at 11:57 left in the second. Well, the Hopkinton-Dover-Sherborne Girls Co-op lost today against a very good Medfield team. They are 0-3 on the season so far. Of course, their former coach, Scott Hayes, is the new coach of Hillers Boys Varsity Hockey. In his first season at the helm for the boys. Morse sends it back. There's a shot, and it's turned away off the stick of Charlie Purpura. Along the near side, Arthur sends it up, finds Tyre. Tyre gets it across. There's a shot turned away by Lang. Secondary shot is wide. That was a good save there by Lang. Arthur had the wide open shot on him. And we'll have an icing call here. Joe Scardino on the face-off against Andrew Sear. Donovan pokes it up the ice, caught up with by Barris. Over to the near side of Zolotarev. And the net came dislodged. This faceoff comes at 11:02 left. Joe Scardino up against Andrew Sear on the faceoff. Back to Dolan. There's a shot turned away by Lang. Caught her knee trying to dig it out, and another shot there by Dolan goes off a defender. Wyndon sends it towards the net, and Lang lands on it. And that came out again. Hiller's going to make a line change. This faceoff comes at 10:48 left in the period. Title up against Sherman. Over to the near side, collected by Morse. He sends it up as he takes a bang into the boards. Purpura trying to dig it out. Tied up with Donovan. Dolan sends it up towards Gwendon. Gwendon with a shot turned away by Lang. And a big hit along the far side as Tyler and Gwendon met up. Yeah, let's see if we have a call here. Looks like we may. Will be against Title. It's going to be for an illegal hit. So Medfield, that is a major, 5-minute major. He threw a punch. So the Warriors have a big opportunity here. And of course, the 5-minute major, even if Medfield scores, that penalty stays on the board. We'll have a face-off at 9:54 left to go in the second period. Donovan sends it up and around. Barris trying to take it up the far side. There's a wrister. And a glove saved by Lang. James Tyre got some good velocity on that one. 4:27 left on the 5-minute major. Up and around it goes. Trying to come out with it is Berman. Keeping him away is Kevin Arthur. Squirts out into Hiller's territory, or Medfield territory, excuse me. Up now to Donovan. Sends it over to Tyre. Tyre racing in. He has speed. There's a shot turned away by Lang. Into the corner it goes. Kevin Arthur trying to dig it out. Arthur leaves it behind for Donovan. There's a wrister and a glove save from Liam Ladd. Saved by Lang. We'll get a face-off at 8:59 left to go. 3:46 left on the 5-minute major. Medfield trying to take advantage here. Lang able to keep it away for the moment. Still out in front in the danger zone. Lang lands on it before Knee able to get the stick in there. Initial shot was by Zach Palmer. Karatsa up against knee. Along the corner, win. Nice move by Karatsa. Karatsa looking for a break. Here he goes. Racing in, wrister goal! Joe Karatsa makes it 1-0 Hillers. A short-handed goal from the junior, Joe Karatsa, at 8:36 left to go in the second period. What a great break by Karatsa, and he takes advantage. Sent over to win. Arthur along the far side. Racing up the ice, and that shot turned away. Sent up by Peterson. Karatsa looking for another break. Here he goes to the net, and this one turned away. That is the most dangerous thing you can do, is let Joe Karatsa get loose. If you're Medfield. Ladd sends it over to the far side. Dolan trying to take it up. Sent back down by Barris. 2:35 left on the 5-minute major. The Hillers did score a short-handed goal about a minute ago. And that squirts out towards the net. Donovan shoos it away over to Dolan. Sear pops it up and around. Berman sliced up in the air by Gwendon. Berman sends it back. Sear out in front. Into the neutral zone it goes. Sherman sends it back over to Palmer. Pass over to knee. Jammed up along the near side to Rocher. Now taking it is Sear. He'll take a shot. That goes wide. Berman meets up with Connor Knee. Knee coming around with it. Trying to sneak it in there. He's cut off by Barris. Up behind the net now. Berman gets in there and shoos it away. There's a shot, and just wide by Sherman. I think Berman might have got the stick in there as well. Isaac Peterson sends it up. Sent back down by Medfield. Peterson slices it towards the Medfield net. Caught up with by Palmer. 1 minute left on the 5-minute major. 6:11 left to go and counting in the second period. Along the far side it goes, and we'll have an icing. Well, so far so good by the Hillers on the 5-minute major. In fact, they got a goal of their own. 49 seconds left. A power play kill by the Hillers. DeRocher up against Sanderson. Donovan with it. Pops it over to the far side. Racing up the ice. Takes a shot, turned away by Lang. And then DeRocher tries to get the stick in there. Taking it around, Wynn. Over to Morse. Into Medfield territory. Dolan catches up with it. Dolan sends it back over to Donovan. The power play has been killed. The 5-minute major has been killed by the Hillers. Very good job defensively by the Hillers. And, of course, great job by Karatsa getting a breakaway goal. Taking it around is Paraki. He takes a hit. Along the near side it goes. Title trying to get the stick in there and get it out of the traffic jam. Morse up over to Greenwood. There's a wrister, and it's wrapped up by Lang off the stick of Benjamin Lusby. We'll have a face-off at 4:38 left to go in the second period. Hillers leading 1-0 as they make a line change. Joe Carazza back out on the ice. He'll face off against Kevin Arthur. Bianchi takes a hit. Ooh, we're going to get a penalty here. I think that was a trip by Arthur. Actually, it might be against the Hillers. They're going to get Bianchi. Or maybe not. No, he's just coming out of the game. It will indeed be a trip on Arthur. So Medfield will be shorthanded once again. Hillers will have a 2-minute power play. .432 left to go in the second period. Medfield changing things up on the ice. Carazza on the faceoff, sends it back. Sent up by Morse. Along the corner, that's Donovan. Morse back to Carazza. Carazza works his way around the defender, takes a shot, it's deflected in the air. Carazza with the backhanded pass over to Scardino. Scardino takes it around, pops it off the boards, over to Morse. Carazza on the one-timer and a misfire. Sends it over to the near side, into the slot. Turnaround shot there by Ian Tosca, turned away by Ladd. Ian Tosca trying to get it out of the corner. Wynn slices it over, out in front. Ian Tosca. Sends it over Morse, and he was looking for Carazza, or possibly Scardino. A minute left to go on the Hillers power play. Getting in the way there was Sear. Sent up to Scardino. Scardino racing up the far side. Maneuvers around one defender, gets it over to Ian Tosca. Now it's out to Morse, takes the shot, turned away. It looked like Liam Ladd got the stick in there. We're going to have a cross-checking call. It is going to be against Medfield. So Zach Palmer heading to the box, and the Hillers will have a two-man advantage for the next 32 seconds. It's the fourth penalty of the game by Medfield. Ryan Title on the face-off against Sanderson. See if the Hillers can take advantage of this two-man advantage power play. Title up to DeRocher and just misses Bianchi. Berman sends it over. And now here comes Bianchi. And he's tripped up. Sent up by Pelkey. Berman gets it over to Title. And it is now a one-man advantage for the Hillers. Bianchi sends it over, looking for the shot, and it's turned away by Ladd off the stick of DeRocher. Squirts out into Hillers territory. Arthur nearly intercepted that pass. Title. Shoot over to Bianchi. Bianchi got the stick on it, sent back down by Medfield as they try to kill off the remaining 40 seconds of the Hillers man advantage. Here goes Greenwood. Racing in is Greenwood, and it's turned away by Ladd. It looked like he was trying to get a backhander, but couldn't quite get the stick around in time. Morris over to Carazza. Sends it up to Wynn. And Wynn's pass intercepted by Galtney. Ten seconds left on the power play. Ian Tosca. Wrister, and it got away from Ladd. He's able to just shoot away from the net. Carazza with it. We are at even strength now. And the shot by Morse diverted. Behind the net it goes. Ian Tosca trying to dig it out. He's knocked to the ground. Morse looking to send it out to Carazza. Too much traffic. Ian Tosca. And out in front of the net. And a big traffic jam there. Carazza takes a big hit. And it's sent into Hillers territory. We'll have an icing. 18 seconds left to go in what has been a very exciting second period. And it has significantly favored the Hillers. They are just putting on relentless pressure. Ryan Title on the face-off with Arthur. Behind the net, Palmer. Getting in the way, Peterson. Along the near side, Palmer. Palmer up against Purpura. Shot from the blue line, just wide at the buzzer by Manoli Barris. And that will do it for the second period. Joe Carazza, a short-handed goal with 8:36 left in the period, and the Hillers lead it 1-0 as we head to the third period. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers Boys Varsity Hockey on HCAM. And welcome back in to the New England Sports Center. We are just about ready for the third period of play in this TVL Large matchup between the Hopkinton Hillers and the Medfield Warriors. And as we enter the third period, it's a 1-0 Hillers lead. Joey Carazza scores a short-handed goal at 8:36 left off a nice breakaway. And he shoots top shelf to make it a 1-0 game, and that's where we stand as we head in to this third period. Carazza on the face-off against Kevin Arthur, and we're underway in the final 15 minutes of regulation. DeRocher trying to get it away. Behind the net it goes. Along the far side now, here comes Tyre. Popped into Hillers territory by Ladd. Taken by Morse, sends it up over to the blue line, Dolan. And it's dropped by DeRocher. DeRocher able to get it off to Wynn. And now, Ian Tosca looking for Carazza, and a little wide there, Donovan. Up the far side he goes. Here comes Dolan. Dolan races around and puts it out of play. We'll have a face-off at 14:14 left to go. Some other final scores from the TVL to tell you about. Ashland defeated Holliston 9-3. Norwood over Westwood 2-1. Medway over Dover Sherborne Weston 3-1. That game's at the end of the second period. And North Attleboro leading Norton 2-1 in the third period. In girls hockey, you had Westwood leading Medway 3-1. So Westwood defeated Medway as that's wrapped up by Lang off the stick of Sherman. And also some unfortunate news, there'll be no Hiller girls basketball for Friday or at all next week due to a COVID outbreak. So Hiller girls basketball will not be playing this Friday or their game Tuesday, and likely will not be playing their game Thursday either. All those games will be postponed. Pass up by Berman. Certainly hope everybody on the girls basketball team's doing okay and will get healthy very quickly. Berman sends it up the far side. Here comes Peterson. Yeah, he meets up with a defender as Title gets a shot off, still out in front of the net. And now it scoots away over to the near side. After taking a few hits from the traffic jam, Gwindon trying to take it around, and we get a whistle. And we're going to have a penalty against Medfield, a cross-check called against Andrew Sear. So the Hillers going back on the power play for 2 minutes. This is their 5th time, I believe, on the power play today. Along the near side. And here comes Kevin Arthur. Offsides, Medfield. It looks like Tyre got across the line just a hair too early. We'll have a face-off at 12:58 left to go. That's too bad. Arthur had a good breakaway. Along the near side, squirts out. Ian Tosca sends it over. Pass up by Wynn. Catching up with it, Dolan. He meets up with Scardino. Popped into Hiller's territory. Lang stops it. Morse sends it over to the far side. Pass up by Wynn, deflected and handled by Tyre. Sent back into Hiller's territory. And we did add a sporting event to the schedule. We'll have Hiller swimming Saturday at 5 p.m. You can catch it live on HCAM. And Karat's on a break, and his shot is deflected into the netting. And that will force a face-off at 12:06 left to go in regulation. Ryan Dolan getting in front of Karatza to deflect that one away. Title up against Knee. And we'll do it again. Title got kicked out of the face-off. It'll be DeRocher. Barris sends it up to DeRocher. Now to Berman. It bounces off of Berman, scoots into the neutral zone. Finds Manoli Barris along the far side. He'll pop it back over to Berman. Berman trying to race in. Berman trying to split the defenders there. DeRocher. Barris. Greenwood got tied up with Waltney and was popped out of play. We'll have a face-off. Actually, we're going to have a penalty here against Medfield. Jack Wantley will join Andrew Sear in the penalty box. So the Hillers with a 2-man advantage for the next 15 seconds, then a man advantage for the remaining minute 45. 11:21 left to go in this third period. Karatza on the face-off. Up against Tyre. Top of the circle, win, and it's popped away. Into Hillers territory, Lang comes out, gets it into the neutral zone, nice feed to win. And now here comes Scardino. Scardino racing in, shot, and it's just wide. Scardino along the near side boards, trying to dig it out of the traffic jam. And we're going to have a sticking call here. This is going to be against the Hillers. Scardino will head to the box for tripping. And we'll be at even strength for a minute 34. And then it'll be a one-man advantage for Medfield for 26 seconds. Wynn sends it over to Morse. DeRocher. Along the near side, that's Palmer. Gets it over to Sherman. Caught up with by Wynn. Wynn scoots it over to DeRocher. DeRocher trying to take it away. Palmer had something to say about that. Palmer driving up, shot, wrapped up by Lang. And a bit of frustration showing out there by these two teams. Along the near side, sent back by Sanderson. There's a shot, and it's put in! Liam Ladd evens up the score at 1 apiece. Liam Ladd just able to drive in. An initial shot deflected off of Lang, and Ladd pops it in. At 10:16 left to go in the third to make it a 1-1 game. And it looks like we have another. I don't know. All right, will not be another penalty. Paraki sends it up the far side. Berman. Sent up now by Barris. Racing to the puck, Dolan. Getting in the way to Rocher. Sends it out. He was looking for Peterson. Too much traffic. Sanderson over to Ladd. Ladd racing in. Into the slot it goes. Berman. Trying to turn it up ice. Sanderson gets in the way, takes a shot. It's wide. Barris sends it over to Title. And we'll have an icing. 13 seconds left until the Hillers will be a man short for 26 seconds. 9:33 left to go in regulation. But we are tied at 1 apiece. Karatza is back out there. Here he goes looking for a break. Karatza flying up the near side around a defender. And then he's cut off out in front. And it was sliced by DeRocher. And then Karatza knocked to the ground. Here comes Sear racing up. Around it goes. Wynn gets there. Sends it back. Looking for Morse. Morse up to DeRocher. DeRocher trying to get it to Karatza. Karatza has a one-on-one. And a couple Warriors close in. Karatza knocked to the ice. Loose puck. Karatza scoots it over to DeRocher. Jammed up along the corner now. It squirts out, and Wynn takes a big hit into the boards. Picked up by Morse. And it's intercepted. Over to Gwindon. Gwindon tied up with Scardino. Looking for the shot. Wrister, and it's deflected. Another good save by Lang. Karatza to DeRocher. Back ice it goes. Sherman up the far side. Gets it over to Knee. Knee trying to race in. Pops it off the near side boards. Sent up by Sherman. Berman will catch up with it. Berman tied up. There to bail him out is Scardino. Scardino over to Zolotarev. Zolotarev. And he's diverted. Along the near side now. Sent over by Greenwood. Pass up by Barris. Along the end boards, Palmer. Berman. We're at even strength. No penalties, at least for right now. There's been certainly a good amount of physical play, as you would expect in a Hopkinton-Medfield battle. Berman gets the stick in there. Ian Tosca trying to send it up. Back and forth we go. Karatza. Here goes Karatza looking for a break. And too much traffic. With it now is Ladd. Well, Medfield, as expected, keeping a close eye on Karatza. We'll have an icing call. 7:03 left to go. Face off in Hiller's territory. Karatza up against Sanderson. Along the far side corner, scooped up in the air by Sanderson. Dolan. And that shot into traffic. DeRocher sends it up into Medfield territory. Dolan along the corner. Karatza gets in there, steals it away. Backhander, and it's wide. And as Sanderson sends it around, we get a stoppage. Net came out. Net came dislodged, so they'll fix that up with 6:34 left to go. Hiller's making a change, as well as Medfield. I'd expect Karatza's going to be back into the game pretty shortly. He'll come to the bench for now for a breather. Title up against Knee. There's a shot just wide by Peterson. Donovan with it. Sends it over. Pass up by Waltney. Sent up by Morse. Turned back around by Marmory. Donovan wraps it around. Wynn trying to dig it out. He's looking for Horgan. There's a shot wrapped up by Lang off the stick of Ryan Dolan. Hiller's make another change. We'll have a face-off at 5:57 left to go in regulation. Karatza back out there to face off against Sear. Berman sends it up over to Ian Tosca. There's a shot, glove save by Lang. Benjamin Lusby getting some air under that one. Along the near side, sent around by Barris. Ooh, big hit delivered on Berman. Racing in Gwindon, and he's cut off, stolen away by Barris. Along the near side, Knee. Jammed up along the boards. Some good hits going on along the near side. And that's sent out. Berman there to intercept. Off the stick of Lusby that went. Karatza looking for a break. Here he goes, flying up the far side. Takes a shot, it's deflected. Getting in the way was Connor Knee. We'll have an icing. This faceoff will come with 5:03 left to go in regulation. Could we see our first overtime period of the new season? Scardino up against Arthur. There goes Kevin Arthur. Tire. Jammed up along the boards is Morse. Puck comes out. Zolotarev sends it over. Here goes Greenwood. Greenwood takes a shot, and it is wrapped up by Ladd. Couldn't get as much zip on that one as he wanted. We'll have a face-off at 4:34 left to go. Title in on the face-off against Sanderson. Yeah, that shot deflected in the air. Trying to get to it, Purpura. He's jammed up along the near side with Charlie Hardiman and company. Coming out with it, Palmer. Sent over by Paraki. There to intercept Title. Around the net it goes. Palmer trying to get there. Sent up by Morse. Medfield trying to return the favor. Sherman racing up the far side. Sends it over out in front, and that shot turned away by Lang. It was Paraki with the shot. Behind the net it goes. Title sends it up the near side. Berman trying to come out with it. Now joining in on the fun is Morse. Taken by Ian Tosca. Ian Tosca tied up with Arthur. Along the near side, Paraki. Sent up and around. And sent out in front. Lang turns that away. Tire with the slow rolling shot there. Into Medfield territory. And we'll have an icing. This faceoff will come at 2:55 left to go in the period. Karatza back out there for the Hillers. Along the end boards, Berman. Sends it up to Purpura, who backhands it up the far side. There's a wrister turned away by Lang off the Dolan shot. And out in the danger zone, and it's turned away. I think the net might have came dislodged. Good pressure by Ryan Dolan and Medfield. Rats up against Sear. Or excuse me, make that Scardino. Along the far side, Zolotarev takes a big hit as he puts that into Medfield territory. And we'll have an icing. .224 left to go in this third period. Along the far side, there's a shot, turned away by Lang. Well, it's been mostly Medfield in this third period getting the pressure on. Here comes Scardino. And Scardino runs into traffic. And that's popped out of play by Dolan, who backhands it into the Medfield bench. This faceoff comes at 2:06 left to go in the third period. Karatza up against Sanderson. Turned up ice by Wynn. Along the end boards, Morse scoops it towards the net, and it's off the glove of Lang. And now a hit delivered by Wynn. Behind the net it goes. Trying to dig it out is Ian Tosca. And here comes Gwaltney racing in. Gwaltney Pops that off a Lang. Karatza picks it up. Sent back by Title. Morse. Trying to sneak it in was Gwaltney, excuse me. Karatza trying to sneak it out. There goes Karatza, looking for a break. And it's intercepted as he tried to get it over to Peterson. And now here comes Sanderson. Takes a shot, and it's turned away by Lang. Now he's trying to sneak around for the secondary shot. That's turned away. Getting in front of it was Morse. And now we'll have a face-off. The net came out once again. This face-off comes at 50 seconds left in regulation. Right, Title on the face-off against Kevin Arthur. Berman. And that gets past Sherman. Into Medfield territory it goes. Zach Palmer trying to get there. We'll have an icing. His face-off at 39 seconds. Title up against Arthur. Racing up the ice, Purpura. Yeah, he was looking for Scardino. Berman. And it's taken away by Sherman. Over to the near side corner. Berman. Gets it up the far side and now jammed up along the boards. All kinds of mayhem going on. And now coming out with it, taking a shot. It's turned away. Kevin Arthur on that shot. Defender got the stick in front of it. 4 seconds left to go in regulation. And that will do it for the third period. Medfield ties it up at 10:16 left to go in the period, and they make it a 1-1 game. And we are going to have a 5-minute overtime period. The new rule in effect this season with the statewide format. Individual 5-minute overtime period. And if we are still tied after that, the game will stay tied. But we will take a quick timeout. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers Varsity Hockey on HCAM. And we are ready for a 5-minute overtime period. A 1-1 score. The Hillers had their only score of the game in the second period, courtesy of Joe Karatza on a shorthanded breakaway at 8:36, and then Liam Ladd responded in the third for Medfield at 10:16. 5 minutes on the clock, and we are ready to go. Karatza up against Sanderson. Donovan along the far side. Hillers working right to left across your screen for this overtime period. Dolan sends it up. Here goes Donovan. Racing in. Along the corner. Karatza got in front of him. Wynn trying to take it. Good battle between Wynn and Sanderson. Morse takes a hit into the boards. Wynn sends it up. Karatza lost it. Paraki sends it up and around. Morse pops it off the boards. Donovan. Over to Dolan. Racing in. There's a shot, and it's turned away. Donovan over to Tyre. Getting in front of him was Morse. Dolan trying to come out with it, and now Arthur gets in there. Sent back down by Morse. Here comes Dolan. Racing in, takes a shot, slow roller, wrapped up by Lang. We'll have a face-off. 3:45 left to go in this overtime period. Michael Berman up against Joseph Nee. Now they'll switch it up, Ian Tosca. That shot off of Ian Tosca. Berman. Putting on the moves. He's knocked down. Scardino sends it over. And now racing in. There's a shot and a goal. Liam Ladd. Liam Ladd with the game-winning goal. Liam Ladd gets the game-tying goal and now the game-winning goal at 3:23 left to go in the overtime period. And the Medfield Warriors are going to take the 2-1 victory over the Hopkinton Hillers. A great battle between these two TVL large rivals. A well-played game. The Hillers had the 1-0 lead for quite a while, and they are certainly not going to be happy losing to this very good Medfield team, but it was certainly a great performance by the Hillers out there today. Jack Lang played very well in net, but Medfield gets the job done as Andrew Ladd got some great saves for the Warriors, and Liam Ladd comes up with the 2 goals for the Medfield Warriors. Medfield now 1 win, no losses, no ties on the season. The Hopkinton Hillers, no wins, 2 losses, and no ties, as Medfield gets the overtime victory by a final score of 2-1. For Andy Ritz on camera, I'm Tom Nappy. This has been Hopkinton Hillers Boys Varsity Hockey on HCAM. We thank you for watching. Take care, enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody.